Okay, and here I am in Goodrich, and I'm walking up to, glad it's open. This is the Cranberries. It's kind of hard to read through the sign. It's dark out. And here's the art. Wine and cheese. Stack of books. Okay, there we go. Say that again.
These are awesome books, Jenny.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's very wonderful that people will do things about this, about our own hometown.
Yeah.
Our big city that's nearby.
Great. And I'm speaking here with Pat. What is your last name?
Plant.
Plant. Patty Plant.
Yep. Just like the flower pot.
That's great. Okay. And now I see you running the place. Are you?
I am the owner.
You are the owner. Okay,
Yep,
that's what I
have a
thought.
partner. My landlord is my partner.
Okay, cool.
I've actually owned it for 18 years.
Okay.
Always a transition. We opened up, we had just a little cafe, breakfast deli, lunch kind of thing. And then over the years it's changed. I got a new partner and we opened the second storefront. And the liquor, so now we do lunch and dinner.
Great. And that's Cranberries. Has it always been called Cranberries in Goodrich, or did
Cranberries Cafe.
Cranberries Cafe. How long have you been here?
18 years.
18 years? Oh, that's such a coincidence. Okay,
Yep,
great.
yep.
If you had both sides, I know this is kind of a big. You've got a whole other area.
The last 10 years we've had the second part.
The second part. Okay.
The first 8 years we had just the one storefront. Then we expanded.
Are you a local person to
I am.
Goodrich?
Born in Flint.
Okay.
I'm East Sider of Flint.
Oh.
And then family moved out to Goodrich in '66, and I graduated from Goodrich. And now my kids have.
So you like it out here?
Much stuff there.
Is it just far enough away from the city to be in the
Small
country?
Town, everybody knows, kind of takes care of everybody. Similar to a small neighborhood town.
Great. So the restaurant business has been good for you? I mean,
Good and bad. It's something that I love, and I have tried other things, and I always come back to this because you really have to love it because you don't really make a lot of money at it, but it's very rewarding.
what is it about it that you like then?
I like meeting people like you,
Okay.
and like finding out new things and new artwork and new avenues of entertainment and lots of new and different stuff. No day is ever the same.
Are you a cook too? I mean, is that
Only
part of the
if I
reason?
have
Oh, but do you like food, or you like what do you venture?
I like people. And that would be my preference is to be doing that. Most of the time now I do office work. I'm in the office a great deal.
Through the
But,
business end.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna
not my favorite part, but it has to be done. And I can cook if I have to. My husband's a chef somewhere else, so
Okay.
I have learned a lot from him, and I can do that if I have to, but I don't really like to.
Well, thanks a lot for having me here.
You're welcome. I'm glad. Your artwork's been very entertaining, Jenny.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So how is the food?
It's weird. It's really good.
It's weird. It's really
We got
good.
deep fried pickles that look like, I won't even say what they look like. We got some calamari. Super calamaricious.
Cool. What do you think, Asia?
Yeah.
Asia, have you tried anything yet?
No.
poetry tonight?
Who is Ethereal?
Ethereal.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Wrong syntax. Here we go. Why don't you introduce your girlfriend too, so everybody knows her name?
This is my girlfriend Nessa, also known as Nessa.
Great, great.
She's pretty cool. I like her.
Cool. And about your new book? What's the name of your new book? You don't have it. We took it from you. What's it called?
Book's called Butterflies, Volume 1, a love story.
I got it right here. Butterflies, all you want.
Oh, yeah, right. We know about your stuff. Here, let's see. What's the
That
new
is
book?
so not my book, but you will see my book later on tonight. I have a copy available for sale, only $10. Everybody's
$10.
Apparently they've been to a post show before, but we'll have the link for it very soon, so stay tuned to the Warrior Publications website because it'll be there.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yes, that's what we need. And how about you, Brian? What are you doing?
Eating a salad.
You're eating a salad? How's your salad? Let me look at your salad. Ooh, looks good. Take a big bite. Yum. Come on, come on. Poke it in. Okay. Yes. Yes. How is that? Very good salad.
Back to you, Jenny.
Okay. Oh, and Nick, you should talk about your book a little bit. Hey, I know Marvin, I know you don't want to be photographed, but don't you have an exhibit coming up at Buckham Alley soon with your paintings in it?
Yeah, in June.
In June? June when? June for the month of June?
June, yep, the Friday, the art walk is soon.
Okay, cool. And we'll be seeing your artwork. How many paintings you going to have in there?
About 8.
About 8? Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. You are a wonderful artist. And okay, Nick, go ahead. Come on. Push your book.
Right here.
Okay, what about it?
Just the third chapter of my chapter 6. Smartest Ski Mask Demons. I have to read from it tonight.
Yeah.
I actually, this is the old stuff. I got new books coming out every month. I got 3 books coming out. Count them 1, 2, 3. Burn it all and truck it up. All power to the people. Crash Bang, Blue Doom. Look out for it, Flint. It's coming next year.
Cool. And how much are your books?
Only $4.
$4. Only $4. And where can we buy them?
You can buy them from my backpack, or you can get digital copies online for $8 at nickcuster.com. That's NICCUSTER.com.
Cool. I'm going to run out and get all of them
You want
today.
all of them? Fine.
Yes.
Already do.
Yes. And I want you to sign all of them.
I'll sign all of them.
Okay, cool. And when are you guys going to get up and perform? Soon?
Very soon.
Okay, cool.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, great. Are you recording?
I'm recording.
Okay, cool. Justin, come on. Tell us about what you're going to be doing next. Aren't you working on an alligator motif? What is this that you're working on?
Just more black light art.
Okay, what do you make that for?
The Lapeer Gallery, the Art on the Town.
In March?
Yep.
So you're going to have your work there, huh?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then maybe you can reproduce it and have it for some of our shows too?
Cool Cities Art Lecture.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm working on something called Voices.
Oh yeah, Voices. May 5th.
You're in charge of Voices. What's going on with that?
Well, it's still in development.
Okay, cool.
That's
And
it.
are you happy to be here? What are you here for? See?
Here for some dinner, looks
Oh.
like.
No respect here. Okay, cool. That's great though. Thanks.
Everybody give it up for Joel. Good boy, great tonight. Really good.
Got recording?
Thank you. All right, my name is Nick Custer. I'm from Flint, Michigan. That's a little west of here. I've got poetry books for sale over by our wonderful art exhibit by Jennie Lynn, also of Flint, Michigan. If you haven't seen that, it's on the wall over here. It's really great. So check it out. These books are available for only $4. If you like what you're here, come find me after the show. If you want.
Good night, thank you.
The first poem I'm going to read is about arson, which if anyone knows the history of Flint or the recent history has been 2 years of upwards of 400 to 500 arsons set the city. 2010 we had about 500 intentional fires. In 2011 we had about 400. So pretty big issue out there, despite what everyone thinks. It does affect people, it does affect lives. So this is called Burn It All, and it's kind of an ironic take on it. Burn it all and see what happens is the idea.
Burn it all and count on nothing being changed with the ugly peeling paint and columns of smoke, replacing pillared skyline shade. Everything seems more hopeless as arson artists chisel out a brand new mess from anger and unhappiness, molten memos filling demolition lists. Hate mail, self-addressed, signed with a gasoline kiss, if raised, sane, ashamed of flaming inheritance. Fed up with sordid heroes, founders, and today all the same, breaking all our basket eggs into brownfield stains and live grenades. No master planning in 50 years, but we're still all slaves as freedom flees play rat race cage. A brick tides, crashing waves, drown hopes of rehabbed haze. Everything's washed away but truth and rage. So frustrated people set ablaze or pray to escape. Swallowing pride with deep-seated hate, this circus city's clowns joke around with money and lie until it's lost. Wasting time while run down cogs in a 3-ring broken watch. Lately though, I've come to blame idealized fame in a city stripped of wits by whips, then encouraged to win a dropout race to bridge card slips. As descendants of factory fodder, we inherit mounds of ish and at most forgetfulness. Defeatist, dealing with decades of loser rants and paid-off silences. But our future's not in flames, or at least not yet. Outsourcing's aim was to discredit social gains and pile people with debt. Now there are 2 prevailing camps of thought to living here today. Either singe away sarcoma homes, know in their place nothing better will ever grow, or give up, burn a blunt, and don't worry about changing what you never cared to really know. This town's like a dentist office. And gummy curves house holes where homes were pulled from boxer tooth blocks on smiling lanes to prevent roof decay. Any second we choose to change the game and refuse to play Fireball Monopoly or pop off Omatic Trouble. The Fly City would rather tear itself down for room to breathe or live some dumb fantasy than preserve its rich history of rubble. What's that first one?
Yeah.
So I have an open door policy in all my readings, and you guys are welcome to follow that. If you don't like what you hear, if you don't agree with it, if you think it's obscene or offensive, please boo me. I have very deep beliefs in what I say, so if you agree, if you disagree, just express that. I'm okay with it. This next one's about being young and not really knowing what you're gonna do with your life, so you turn to this or that to try to fill that emptiness and that gap, and obviously how it doesn't work. And how turning back towards sobriety, you kind of find what you were looking for in the first place that you tried to fill. You know, you create your own holes in your lives. It's called well-rounded youth. You said we were looking glass explorers, but let's quit lying to ourselves. We were drug fiends, sneaking open-eyed dreams past bathroom mirrors, mirroring minors, making trouble, unaware of nightmares. We were sleeping apnea addicts, shooting fresh air off porcelain and pissing our lives away. Delusional kids climbed to heaven by falling through the clouds, never realizing fulfillment's emptiness, having everything and it being hideous, all pale shark skin and demented grins, paranoid stares and blinded sight. That is until I stopped the swim and truth sank in, the darkness proving warmer than the light. I closed my blinds and pretended it was night. The dawning of sobriety inside of me was at first mistaken for bones of light. No more sheep to count on for dreams, alarm clock buzzer blistering, groggily, that lamp smoke before I wake, I most want to sleep. Morning lucid peaks into hellish feats of dumb, astounding losing streaks. Forgetting history was always heresy, and blinking rapidly only led to more fear. Now with eyes coffeeed clear, the only looking glass to explore is the rear view. So I careen through the city streets like a hearse desperate for taxi cab fare. Oh, I forgot the last line of this poem. Rewind! So I careen through the city streets like a hearse desperate for taxi cab fare, and I spend break times in parking lots, browsing newspaper pages for the obituaries to such voluptuous youth. Okay, so that would be a little more powerful. I would have actually come out with it, but bear with me here. I appreciate your honesty. That's okay with me. I'm going to read this next one of the books. It kind of goes with that. And it's got a rough title. The title is Shotgun Mouthwash. But it's just that feeling that
that nothing's ever enough, and you're pushing for someone else's goals, you know? I think you'll see what I mean when I say it. I signed my name once again and lost another piece of myself. Because these ink drops bind my blood and my days to one more of 1,000 soon-to-be half-tread paths that I'm more than willing to stumble down. And I have to laugh as I look back and remember my naive fears that time was wasting away. Years defined by TV, family life, and faraway worlds. Days in pursuit of escaping a world all too near and a family still breathing down my neck. I rode my bike through Sesame Street, fought for the Power Rangers, helped resolve someone else's family matters, and learned how to stay young forever. I began scheduling my daytime acceptance and feeding my primetime isolation, allowing a thin, insulated cable to carry with it my skewed sense of belonging. It was never long before time was wasted as I hid from the risks and adventures thoughtlessly committed by failed friends and friendly failures. I spent the same wasted time insulating my head and my chest with insecurity and choking pain until I decided it was time to breathe. So I tore out a million directions, falling to a million pieces in order to become whole, no longer wasting time but quickly wasting away, alone in a crowd of obligations rather than alone with the insane notion that I was living a sane life. Weeks are now spent maddening myself, happiness sadly staring me down as I lower my eyes and nose to the grindstone. I'm shrinking from this world by immersing myself in it. Sipping my personal poison of responsibilities too great to carry yet too small to matter. With peace uneasily looming overhead, I close my eyes and let the pen plead my self-destruction. Let my hand sign my name to another obligation while I blindly choke back the fear that my time is wasting away. Okay, I'm gonna bring up my next poet right here. This is Give It Up for Ethereal.
Well, you're good.
Okay, I'm slightly tall, so I'm going to put this to a cat in there. There we go. How's everybody feeling tonight? Everybody feeling okay?
Yeah.
Everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Round of applause for Cranberries Cafe for giving us this space to perform. Thanks for giving us your help. I really appreciate it. So thank you all, staff and other members. I go by the name of Ethereal. I'm a performance poet from Flint, Michigan, and I'm do a few pieces tonight if that's okay with everybody. This first piece is it's really a story of who I am as an artist and why I do what I do, and it's called Intravenous Verse. I write the stretch of my borders, going, sitting for hours at Borders trying to read as much Dr. Maya Angelou as I possibly can, and it's bordering on this infatuation that she must withstand because they say her wordplay is in high demand. We stand to inherit millions over time because I come from a poetic bloodline, which means I can read, write, and rhyme in time to find a frame of mind that will allow me to give these words away to you. So I sign them off the way my pen drips. It's like an IV, it's intravenous verses, so these words refine me. Syntax comes to define me, remind me of why we become writers. Instead of letting our words be formed and flip the other way around. See, you were designed to absorb these words like you're ingesting liquid sound. We spit words profound, so we make a statement. We set lyrical foundations, call us the basements. Verb placement, precise. So we move you to action while objectifying these adjectives to grip you. Poetry is traction. Poetry spreads through the population like it was the best parts of you and me. My words hit home, infecting virtually every single MIB you see, and even the ones you don't. Every million individuals born between then and now. See, in times past, students took it upon themselves to make themselves known to others as writers and poets. Even though children today have talent, they refuse to show it and grow it and let it reach its full potential, shifting their weight differentials to other pursuits, becoming law-abiding citizens who lack credentials for youth, who deny the truth in words spoken. If they never hesitate to verbalize through their own eyes that they themselves are becoming a lost hope, a worthless token of our affections. And that's a problem. So as I look out, I see that the error lies in the mirror. But for each one of us to see clearer, we've got to get rid of the influence of he say, she say, and find common sense. Subsequently, getting rid of the influence of public opinion and bring your minds and hearts under your own dominion. Cease and desist stacking chips and start flipping through scripts. Try to delve into the diverse dialogue of Frederick Douglass, then try dissecting his definitive diction. Uninhibit your mind, take your heart off restriction, and then use it. Because the human brain is full of many millions of synapses, collecting and correcting electrical impulses and syntaxes used to collect cohesive thoughts through ideas pulled taut and stretched to the extreme. Like the winter in Michigan. Thank you. Everybody who doesn't believe that winter in Michigan is cold, take a step outside that door and I promise you, you're gonna freeze. I do have my first self-published book. It is entitled Butterflies, A Love Story, Volume 1. It is a collection of love poems that I wrote over the past 2 years. I don't perform very often, and everybody's like, you should write more love poems. So I wrote a book. Valentine's Day is coming up. This book is only $10.
Oh,
It is,
$10.
you can tell this man's been to a poetry show. Basically, the premise is you go to a poetry show, an artist has a product for sale, you say it's only $10, and the crowd responds, it's
Only $10.
you're practically giving them away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if anybody wants to take a look at it, it'll be sitting on the table with Jennie and her other art. So please feel free to look at it. And if you're interested in purchasing it, I'm sitting right there. So, okay. Thank you. Yes, 20-year-old self-published author from Flint, Michigan. Yes. This next poem I wrote about 3 years ago for a poetry slam competition. And actually I also won the competition and I also got the chance to perform this piece in Tampa, Florida for a crowd of about 300 people. So I was really proud of it. This piece is called Dedication. It's my dedication to poetry. Personally, I don't believe in dedication to this craft because I am unable to sit down and intentionally write poetry because these words don't belong to me. See, I was given a voice for the mute and eyes for the blind so that in some way I can compensate for the accidental crime that child called his birthday. Because it wasn't premeditated that he was born that way, and it hurts to know that I have far too long taken my gifts for granted, but they were handed to me on a silver platter. And now I am nothing but a vessel for this black matter that was earmarked for disaster but saved by a microphone. And these words become my metronome, so all I hear in my ear is tick-tock, tick-tock. I'm playing hide and seek through writer's block. Like PM searching for AM, I chase words around the clock. Like at 5:13 a.m. when I was hit with the news that I was dying. Or at 10:30 p.m. when War Song Part 1 hit me in the middle of a game of Uno. You know, there I was, just sitting in the lounge. And in the background, I found forethought. It took over 4 hours and 4 thoughts for me to have met a forward poem and to realize that these lines could take me higher. So I'm inspired, yet I'm insane. See, some claim that poetry has no fire, but saying poetry doesn't burn the desire is like saying math has no decimals. Poets write incredible. We write to make words oh so edible while the moon's in crescent mode. See, I'm a thief in the night. Like beast in the night. But minus the blue fur and the X for my X-Men fans. Minus degrees for my words are frozen cute and whack rappers walk up like a bird so thought we'd always flock together. However, heaven hit me again something clear and now this poetry is more airborne than the common cold on a lyre. Can you see my mental plane? It's been laid plain like a slain consonant laying maimed in the streets as a victim of my name game. He was conjugated. His pen confiscated as a result of his incarceration. See, the police called the poet a product of his environment, which is a fact that needs no acknowledgement because the little boy grew up in a hood known for abandonment, which left him cold and alone, no place to call home, so he hones his talents, selling poems out of his pockets with 30 talents, walking a thin line, but his brain can't balance with his arms outstretched, and I'm not believing that as a people, we have fallen this far behind. In a race with Father Time, while Mother Earth nurses his seed, an infant was born on this page to read between the lines and to translate poetry for the untrained minds. The untrained eye tried to see and think it into existence, but he has soon encountered resistance. That same untrained eye then tried to untrain I, but the outcome was just the same. Trying to debrief his insane brain within his mind to make his own poems rain, but his writing isn't fluid. It's more like liquid flow, also incomprehensible, yet crystalline. See, the doctors were asking for a transverse dissection of this poet's recollection. Twin poems in my oven is 350-degree convection, and yes, I keep a ballpoint Smith & Wesson, but it's just for your protection. Never second guessing that my poetry was a blessing. Amen. So yes, that piece is in this book, if anybody liked it.
How much is it? How much is it?
The book is $10.
Oh,
It's only $10.
Only $10.
Support a starving artist, aka a local poet. I promise you, it'll be worth it.
Sign it for us.
It will definitely be signed. I'm gonna read the next piece because it is a rather new poem and I don't want to mess it up in front of you guys because I try to pride myself on putting on good shows. This piece is called Butterflies. It is the title poem of the book. And it's a twofold poem. I wrote it to see if I could expand my performance as a writer through the use of visual imagery. And it also has a really deep meaning for me as a writer. So I think you'll catch on to it. It's called Butterflies. If one could redirect the stream of time, what butterflies will leave your stomach to affect change in your surroundings? See, you are the verbal morpho, singing the blues to describe the Afro-American bruise inflicted on our people, hiding behind the peephole of humanity to peer into the depths of your own reality. We're blaming the system for our lack of self-control, yet it's fool's gold, that which you seek. Yet now, society is too intelligent to sit back and reach past it to tweak the bane of your own existence. That which is to learn love is you, and me is who has sent me to you, and they've already asked them like, God, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do or even don't do. For the entity of my soul is solely based on its container, so I'm beginning to become a scientist of my own soul, Earth system, my internal astronomy. My inner star shines with the blazes of lives lived before times well spent. Hell sent, smell of hounds on my tail, ablaze with sapphire stones in my iris. Sunshine skin tones like sheets of papyrus, writ of law in passing passages through my honest oracles of divinity. Which is simply to say, you deal with the hands you were dealt. And as a player, you deal with the hand you are dealt. 7 cards, 10 fingers, 2 players, and 1 game that never ends. Theoretically, the computer always wins. But if there's a such thing as mind over matter, then astral projections will always make me a winner. So I'm watching your moves like ESP. Extraordinarily simplistic plans of attack. And in this game called life, intelligence is irrelevance. Distance equals time. Formulas are for tyranny. This poem is triskaidekaphobia for the Nazarene, so I'm taking the vow of the Nazarite. So I write. So please, get comfortable and let your hair down. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more poem before I turn it back over to our lovely musician for the night. This poem, what's your name, sir? Joel. Can we get a round of applause for Joel? He's been out there playing and serenading this all night. Thank you very much from artist to artist. I do understand what it's like. Please, keep it up. This last piece it's also in the book. I think I'm gonna just keep it out like this. And it is a love poem. And this one is called, where is it? Days Like This. And the basis for this poem is really the typical standard interaction between male and female, there are always going to be problems, but there are always a reason to try to make it better. And I think that's something everyone here can relate to, especially in marriages and courtships and other things. This one's called Days Like This. Days like this. Days like this one where that one meets no one who has any intentions on being one or the other, except to smother with affections. And when affects shuns their cause, you may cause questions like, probably, because probable cause is lacking for me to explain why I love you. So I hug you, wrap you in tightly, holding you tightly, killing you daily and loving you nightly, because you know good and well that no one will love you quite like I do. In days like this, I remember when my brother's mom said, if you have something precious, then not to let a weak man hold it, because you weren't that strong to begin with, and you've already placed the weight of your world on my shoulders. See, I was just pretending to overexert myself to get you to understand. The true love can't be quantified in terms of you and I. True love exists where energy ceases and desists in creating divisions between man and wife, and land and sky. It's a cosmic metamorphosis between tangible beings. Persons coexisting to supplement this existing spirit of spontaneous combustion. When we fight out of nowhere, like on any given day like this, where days like this one where no one met that one because that one had every intentions on being your one and only. Probably because you've given me a reason to want to do better. So is it? Could it be? Possibly. So why? Why every time I hear the song Love Is You, I break out in tears? Is it because the sound of your voice puts Chrisette Michelle to shame? Or is it because I'm missing what I gave up? See, baby, we were supposed to be. We were supposed to last forever. But I was too selfish and self-centered. But can you blame me? I was only afraid of losing what was the greatest treasure I've ever had. You, my golden sunrise. But now I realized that you weren't going anywhere but here. See, I found balance in your instability, sanity in your voice, and peace in your anger. See, girl, I found myself in you.
Yeah.
True, that was the only time I had ever been truly happy. See, I remember our first kiss. It was something slightly awkward as your lips missed mine and grazed my cheek, but I was to find tranquility in your serenity, your divinity, your feminism, your realism in you. Your poetry made me want to put my pen down. Pinned down like I was Simba. Yes, I remember. Remember our first dance? We tumbled to the floor and laughed past days and weeks of anger and discontent toward each other. Remember? Remember the day you said you never want another? Remember the day when I told you I'd marry your voice before you took another breath? See, I did. Do you remember? Let's go back to the olden days when commitment was golden. Maybe your brother was right. See, I'd gladly go to a marriage counselor if it meant a second chance, but in that split second, chance threw out the window. Although I started it, I was a catalyst to saddle this wild stallion of a relationship, trying to savor it, flavor it, as you became my favorite drug of choice. Pro-choice, your voice was an entity, all unto itself. Thank you for listening.
I've always heard of love at first sight.
How was everything, sir?
But never dreamed that I would see another someone who seems so right. But does she feel the same for me?
Movie? No, TV show. It's like that. They actually do like, it might not be called American, but they actually do
Every time that I catch your eye,
like they go across like monkey bars, like in school.
so I should find it and I
They used to have this stuff. Is that something different? This is like a I know that nature was sort of a one-on-one. Nature warrior.
Every day, some kids drop out of school and start training like 16. People build like those complexes in their yard.
Like the planks.
Every time